Hi, my name is Charlie, and 6 years ago, I ran away from home in the middle of the night. I have some new followers, so I figured I would share the night that I ran away. June 9th, 2018, it was a Saturday, and my former mom and I went to church because I was raised Adventist. My former father was in Florida on a business trip, so he was not home. After church, my former mom really wanted to float in the pool, so she would float, read her book, and drink her Lipton sweet tea. While she was in the pool, I was finding bags, a backpack, and a duffel bag. Once I found those bags, I started packing quickly. I had a friend in Georgia who told me if things at home ever got to a point, I always had a place on her couch. I reached out to her a few days before all of this, and I was like, how do we get me down there? And Sarah had a friend named Tiffany. Tiffany was willing to take a few days off work to be able to pick me up and get me down to Georgia. So June 9th, I texted Tiffany and I was like, what time are you getting me? And she was like, when is the best time to get you that's safest? And I said, nighttime, when my mother is sleeping. And she was like, okay, so like midnight? And I was like, I'm too anxious that she's gonna be asleep, but not asleep enough. So we settled on 3:30 in the morning. While my former father was in Florida on his business trip, my mom was having me sleep in her room, so it made it a little harder. I remember laying in my mom's bed that night and just feeling like every breath that I took was going to wake her up. Around 2:33 a.m., I got up, I slid out of the bed, closed her bedroom double doors, and crept back to my room to continue packing. Tiffany texted me on Snapchat through my iPad that my former mother forgot to take away from me when she took my phone because she didn't see it. She didn't remember to take it. So Tiffany told me that she was across the street and down one house, so that's where I would meet her. I deleted my iPad completely and then started walking through the house to leave. I was terrified creeping through the house. I felt like every single little noise that happened from me walking was going to wake her up. The hardest part was when I got to the garage. My dog Luke was staying in there because it was too hot outside, and so we put him in the garage because it was much cooler. He just kind of looked at me really sad, kind of like, why are you leaving this early kind of look. And I just spoke to him and I was like, I'm sorry, buddy, I can't take you with me. I got through the garage and I sprinted to Tiffany's car, put my bags in her car, and then laid her front seat back all the way because I was still scared that I woke my mother up and I didn't want her to see me in the car. Turns out, and I found this out later, is my former mother didn't find out that I was gone until about 8 a.m. The first place that Tiffany and I stopped at was a Denny's, like a celebratory breakfast at like 3:30 in the morning. I didn't actually eat anything. I was too anxious to, so she had a full meal and I just kind of sat there. And then after Denny's, we went to an ATM in a completely different direction because I knew that they would be tracking my debit card. After the ATM, we went to Tiffany's house, where I stayed till, I believe, June 13th. And then June 13th, very early in the morning, we left for Georgia. If you want to know more, like how my former father showed up at Sarah's apartment in Georgia the day before I was supposed to arrive there, let me know. Give this video a like, repost, comment, yeah.